morning, traders. Manny Cabrera from MDT Trading Academy with our pre-market forecast for today, Monday, July the 29th. Let's go quickly to our news items for this week. We have a very heavy week in reference to news items that may pertain to our trading time. Nothing today, but immediately tomorrow we start obviously at 10 in the morning with CB Consumer Confidence. And the biggie is on Wednesday, the last day of the month, July 31st. We have the FOMC statement, federal funds rate, and we also have here the FOMC press conference. As you notice here, the market in general, economists in general, are forecasting a 25 basis points reduction in the interest rates. I think that's going to cause a positive effect on the market, but again, it all depends on where you're sitting in the market, what position, whether you're long, whether you're short, what instrument you're holding. So we're not speculating about it, but it's highly expected to do that. And obviously the press conference immediately after that. Market may go flat early in the morning, or you may have a lot of activity while people are positioning themselves. But one thing for sure, as we're approaching the 2 o'clock time, you're going to start seeing the market kind of slow up. So let's see what happens on Wednesday. It'll be an interesting day. We also have at 9:45 the Chicago PMI and unemployment cost, and then the rest of the week we have few ISM manufacturing, the hourly rates, and really important on Friday morning at 8:30 is the unemployment rate. They're expecting it to remain at 3.7, but we'll see what happens. And so keep your eyes open for these reports this week. Do not trade unawares. Be sure you always check news. So great week for that. Let's go to our analysis. Here is our daily chart. This market continues is amazing historical run to all-time highs. We established an all-time high once again last week on Friday at 30. I didn't write it out on this one. I have it on the only other chart. But anyway, market continues. The volume has picked up just a little bit more. We've had a couple of days over a million more frequently in the last week or so. So the market, although it's July, it still continues resilience and strength to the upside, which is an amazing thing. The 20 SMA is hugging this market on the way up. As you can see, I have a trend line here coming off the 50 SMA. See how the market continues to hug that line. That's what we're seeing. That triangle continues to produce long-term and short-term. Short-term and mid-term to the upside. We'll see what happens on a longer-term basis, particularly with the news on Wednesday. Let's look at our projection chart here. Again, we find ourselves within this wedge here. It looks a lot smaller, the movement, because I kind of reduced it. Kind of pinched it, but basically that's where the market has been, establishing new highs. We have very clear support areas. Support areas just keep shifting higher and higher. That's an indication, obviously, of the market continuing stronger to the upside. Let's look at our analysis chart here, and as we can see, the market is obviously, it's over here. Yes, that on Friday the new all-time high is basically what's our high of the day. Market coming off the all-time highs late in the afternoon to a huge retracement down here, finding support here at this level here. Now, what we had here was a clear compression of price, and it happens. This pattern repeats itself over and over again in these types of market, where you can see the market has a clear direction to the upside. It finds all-time highs or strong resistance areas, retraces deeply, finds support in some trend line, and then it tries to go back up eventually to retest. So what are we expecting today? Any type of move to this area here, we're expecting the continuation. Even if it breaks lower, we're still expecting continuation higher. If it breaks here, obviously that's the goal, or the ultimate goal of the market is to retrace and retest this intraday low. Now, it may not get there. We have a few resistance areas, support areas along the way where the market can use to bounce off. Best way to handle that kind of stuff is just do a quick fib. Just do a quick fib from the low of that day, of the intraday, to the high of the day, and there you can see the market has support here, and this is what we're looking for. We have some really good support in this area here, so the market can retrace here and expect to go higher. It can go down to this level here, to the 61%, and still continue higher. Otherwise, we're expecting the market to move a little lower, and I think if it breaks that trend line, then I think we can expect a little run to the downside. But ultimately, market still looks strong to the upside. There's really nothing impeding us on a technical basis to think otherwise. Let's look here at our trade chart here. As you can see, it's the same thing. Market finding support at that trend line there. We're expecting the market to use this area here as potential support here in order to move higher and come try to retest this area here. I think it's going to be a very interesting week. Just make sure you're always on the right side of the market. Make sure you always place your stops, and make sure that you place your stops in good places. Have a great trading session and have a great week.